hello and welcome to Sydney Motorsport Park for round 2 of the Penrite ASBK presented by Pirelli. We're here in Australia's biggest city, Sydney. We're smack bang in the middle of the city. Welcome Chris and Steve to what is surely going to be an unbelievable round, racing under lights. But wow, what about the first round at Phillip Island? Racing absolutely off the charts.
It's always special to start the season racing with World Superbikes, but yeah, we had some great races in the Australian Championship in the Supersport class with the next gen bikes, but then what, Harry Voigt to run away, you know, Josh Waters' teammate, and win those races. It was pretty cool.
It was sensational to see what we would say is a changing of the guard, really. All those young guys taking up those podium places.
Well, for me, the biggest thing was that the ASBK racing way overshadowed the quality of the racing in the World Superbike Championship. A great way to start the season. But championship points coming into this round. Harry Voigt leads the championship on 68, ahead of Jacob Ralston on 62. Cameron Dunker in 3rd place on 56. Josh Waters, the reigning champion, in 4th place on 50 points. And JJ Nalos, the hometown hero this weekend, is in 5th place on 47. Speaking of hometown heroes, really hard to try and do the picks this weekend. There's so many people, the spectacle of racing under lights. What can we look forward to this weekend, Chris?
Yeah, well, some of the guys and girls in the smaller classes have probably never ridden under lights or at night time, so it's a pretty cool, it's a new spectacle. I did it in my career. It's cool the first time you do it, but there's another element to it, you know, how you adjust your visor and get used to that light, and what do you manage, you know, Steve?
Oh, totally. For me, I just love the way it looks at night. It's incredible. You see sparks coming off foot pegs. You see pops and bangs coming out of the exhaust pipe. It's just exhilarating.
Well, it is a completely different sensation and probably reflected a little bit in our picks. Not for me. I've gone for the last round winner, Harry Voigt. We know that he's good here at Sydney Motorsport Park. Chris, who have you gone with this weekend?
I've taken a gamble, Phil? Keeping it very safe there, but no, I've gone with Jacob Ralston. What he did on the Honda at Phillip Island was really impressive, and a young gun that's come from Moto3 World Championship into the ASBK Championship, he really set on fire. So I think being a Sydney lad, he's going to be quicker around here.
Yeah, well, you've just forgotten how spectacular Cam Dunker was at Phillip Island, the way he made that Yamaha turn. This is a tight track. Keep an eye on him. He's going to be up there.
Well, I don't think I've taken an easy way out. We've gone for the top 3 in the championship, but it's also very, very interesting racing here under lights. Let's have a closer look at Sydney Motorsport Park in the Ducati track preview with Chris Vermeulen and Steve Martin.
Well, Steve, I'm really excited when we get to throw our leg over a bike. This Ducati track preview here at Sydney Motorsport Park. We're on the new Panigales and the Street Fighter, the V2, the new generation from Ducati. Last time out, we got to ride those V4s, so pretty excited to see what these things do.
Oh, absolutely. That was a lot of fun, but these next-gen bikes, I cannot wait to get on them, especially at a track like Sydney Motorsport Park. Let's get up and at them.
Let's go. Okay, on the gas we go.
Here's the start of the lap. Sydney Motorsport Park. Really fast on these big swing downs in turn 1. Over 230 km an hour. You can see Steve there just dragging the brake through the middle of the corner. That's really fast. This gear is running out of back to second gear, and he's gone a little bit wide. So it's nearly allowing out the inside. That got a bit close. It's double apex, really long this turn 2. Keys it to the left hand side and turn to the right. Fast turn 3 up to 3rd gear. As you accelerate out of here, like it's really light, and then you can drive down the inside into turn 4. This is a re-bitumen section.
Life's never easy when you're on track with this guy. Nah, not brave enough there. Nice big slide. Hard on the brakes into turn 9, the Kawasaki corner. I had a big crash on this corner once, Chris, so I'm not as brave as you there.
Really fast entering this last section of the track here. Rail the brake in here onto the right. Down 1 gear, over to the left, and this is really long. 3 apexes in this whole last section, and you're trying to get a drive coming out of the last turn. got to run on Steve here. See if I can slip through and get to the finish line. Yeah, well that was a good lap. It's not very often you get to ride around the track with a guy like this guy, Chris Vermeulen. So very, very impressed. And he gave me the thumbs up too. I think he might have slowed down a little bit for me, but you know, we'll leave that out.
Well, welcome back to Sydney Motorsport Park. It is round 2 of the Penrite ASBK presented by Pirelli. Races 4 and 5 here this weekend. We're getting ready now for race number 4. Race number 5 will be held under lights tonight. But the tension, Steve, I can feel it building from all the way down there on the grid, all the way back to our commentary position. The desperation level from Phillip Island has continued on here to Sydney Motorsport Park.
You can't do those lap times with water running over the track like he did last night, but nobody told Josh Water that. But let's head down there now because he's with Josh.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I am, and what a better place to start. Like you say, the pole man, Josh Waters, yesterday qualifying, I could see on the TV screen it looked patchy. I was glad I wasn't a rider, but that was a fast lap time you put out there.
Yeah, it was crazy for the conditions. Like I said, straight after the qualifying, I was shocked. An hour before, I honestly thought we were going to be riding around on wet weather tyres. So, yeah, I obviously hung it out a little bit, but I didn't enjoy it one bit whatsoever. But it was great to get pole and 2 tough races coming up.
You probably didn't enjoy it, but you're probably enjoying this view right now. Last year you started on the 3rd row of the grid and you led into turn 1, so you must be confident.
No pressure. So, yeah.
You're a good starter, right?
Yeah, hopefully. So it's different every time. Yeah, head down, bum up.
Your teammate your biggest threat, or do you think the Yamahas are going to be strong as well?
Harry's going to be strong everywhere. There's so many riders that are going to be strong, so it's hard to tell with the weather how it was yesterday. We don't really know what it was like. I hadn't ridden since I raced here last year at this track, and I know everyone else has, so, but no excuses. Get out there, try my best.
You're still showing them the way. Good luck, mate.
Thank you.
Yes, and that's important, you know. He's still got the speed, even though a lot of the guys have done a lot of racing around here, but he is a 5-times champion and more experienced than all those guys as well. 2nd place on the grid. I'll come and see Harry Voigt. I pushed Jamie Stouffer, his crew chief, out of the way. But Harry, you look very, very strong at Phillip Island. Obviously, that momentum's carried forward here. You feel comfortable on the bike?
Yeah, I feel very good on the bike. Just also my teammate's really fast too, so it'll be interesting. We haven't really had much dry time, which is same for everyone. So, yeah, I think it should be a pretty interesting race.
You did some of the Summer Series races. Tyre life and durability, is it an issue around here, or you think you can go pretty hard all race?
Yeah, for sure there's quite a significant drop between the front and rear tyre. I kind of felt it a bit yesterday. It's been challenging to really understand it because of just the lack of track time. But no, all in all, it is what it is. It's going to be the same for everyone. I know that I just got to keep in mind that if I'm feeling it, everyone else is feeling it too. So, yeah, I'll just put my head down and give it my best.
Good luck, Harry.
Thank you.
There you go, 2nd place on the grid. I'll come and grab quickly, if I can, JJ Narlos. I know we're going to be going to the Australian National Anthem soon, but JJ, quickly, front row, the Yamaha, the factory bike. How's it feeling?
Yeah, I mean, the feeling's pretty good. Yeah, I've been gelling with the bike really well. So, I mean, the team and I have been working really hard in between the races, and yeah, we've been getting somewhere, making progress. So it's yeah, really exciting, and yeah, my first front race starts, so that's awesome, and yeah, I mean, just got to go see how the race goes, and hopefully get a good start, and yeah.
Good luck, mate.
Thank you.
Well, Superbike, SW-motech Superbike category, race number 4 of the 2026 season is about to get underway, and Josh Waters is your pole man. He will start from the 1st position on the grid. His teammate Harry Voigt right behind, and JJ Narlos, the local man, in 3rd.
That's a pretty strong front row with Mike Jones, Crew Halliday, and Cam Dunker, your row 2.
Anthony West, Jack Favell and Glenn Allerton on row 3. remember 12 months ago, Favell was fast.
He was. Jacob Ralston is fast, we know that. Marcus Hamod up there, great to see. John Littress, well, that's good for him too. You rode more.
Row 5, Ty Lynch, Josh Newman and Damien Adams on board the Suzuki, with Brendan Wilson, Charles Holding, Luca Durning on row 6, and the field rounded out by Richard Markham Barrett, Luke Jones, John Quinn, Michael Kemp and Matthew Rindell.
Yeah, good to see a BMW out there as well. They were strong in the championship a few years ago, have drifted away, but good to see one out there today.
First race of round 2, race 4 for the season. Take a deep breath, we're ready to go racing for SW-motech Superbikes. On the stop and seal machine, bike number 65, and he'll sweep around the outside of Narlos to make it 3 McMartin prepared Ducatis in the lead as we go through bike sales corner and down into a turn 2. It is Voigt that leads though. Around the outside, Narlos, can he get the corner made?
Oh, a few of them have run wide there. Mike Jones is one of them too.
Yeah, I think Josh Newman was another one that ran wide.
Cam Dunker got a great start. Remember at Phillip Island, Cam Dunker and how he was getting that Yamaha to turn. Well, boy, he turned it tight there.
One of the Motor City Hondas is right up there as well. I think that might be Jacob Ralston on board bike number 112.
Well, Ralston can't be up there already. He was on the 4th row of the grid. That's a fall.
That's Cameron Dunker.
Oh, no, he didn't get it turned, did he? That's a big one, too, over the fence there. Glad to see he's up and okay.
Yeah, Dunker out of the action early. He was one of the stars of race 1, 2 and 3 at Phillip Island at the first round of the championship. But as we look down on the field, as they make their way back into the view of the large crowd here at Sydney Motorsport Park, it is both the on-your bike McMartin Racing with the Hi-Tec Ducati V4Rs that lead, with Voigt holding a very slender lead over his pole position teammate. Crew Halliday back there in 3rd, JJ Narlos just getting settled as this race comes around to complete the first lap of 13.
A little bit of a gap back to Ralston there. You can see that gap with, is that Anthony West behind him too?
Yeah, let's have a look at the speed differential here between the Honda and the Ducati. The Ducati of West still not able to pull out of the slipstream. Waters goes to the inside. But Voigt just does not use the brakes at the end of the Penrite Straight.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty hard to overtake him there, isn't it? Where is he going to find the way through? Voigt carries his speed all the way through and uses all the track too. And I'll tell you what, he's experienced. He ain't going to make a mistake, and he's doing a great job. Nala's slightly wide there. That gap back to Ralston is stable. So Ralston's running a good place at good speed at the moment.
And he's still got West right behind him, and also Glenn Allenson as well.
Well, yeah, Allen's doing a good job to be able to hang up. We've got another faller there.
That's one of the Irish racing team riders down. Is it Wilson or is it Quinn? But you'll find that that could be a Quinn on board bike number 31. That looks like the exit of well, a very wide line into Blue Crew corner the Blue Crew replay. That's bike sales corner. It is Quinn on board bike number 31.
Yeah, he just literally got on the gas too hard on the grass. You can't do that.
I reckon if anything, Ralston may have just pulled that back in a fraction on this lap, Steve. That gap doesn't look as big as what it was as they came round through that area of the circuit the first time around. I was speaking to Harry Voigt's crew earlier on this weekend. They had some electrical issues with the bike, and they said they've never had to clean so much rubber off the side of a bike because Harry was just riding the thing on the absolute limit, spinning the tyre up everywhere. And look at Waters, clean and calm as he comes out of the slipstream, but it's just the aggression of Voigt down into Pirelli corner turn 1 that just does not allow the 5-time champion through.
No, it's, Waters is already thinking, what am I going to do to win this? You know, like he's already lining him up on the inside. There is an opportunity. He seems to have a bit more speed off of the final corner that if it did come down to the last lap and he couldn't find a way past him, he's already worked out that he could almost slipstream him over the line. So he hopes it's not going to come down to that, but he's already tried that 2 times. But he can't hang around, can he? Because Crew Halliday is there. Crew Halliday, if you think back, was the man here at this track for many, many years to beat. And he seems to have refound his mojo.
Well, I remember correctly, Crew Halliday won a race here coming from a long way back a couple of years ago.
Allerton's made his way through now.
Well, as we said, Allison is certainly one to keep your eye on board that Superbike Advocates machine, bike number 14. He knows this place well. He's had a great off-season of training, doing a lot of laps at this track under race conditions.
Allison is closing the gap down to this leading group.
And in fact, he's left Ralston in his wake now. So Ralston, if he can try and get a little bit of slipstream from the veteran rider from southwestern Sydney, can he try and make this a 6-bike battle for that lead group? Back onto the Penrite straight we come to come around and complete 3 laps. Fastest man on the last lap, the first flying lap was at 29.7 for Drew Halliday.
Yeah, and Waters has got through as well.
Right, this is going to be interesting to see if Waters, now that he's managed to get through, if he can make a break. Voigt has the pace to go with him.
Voigt had some sort of issue there because Waters got through, but Waters goes wide now.
And Voigt back through up into the lead. Oh, I thought Waters was on the inside there on the run through turn 3. He might have tried to be a little bit cheeky and just put the number 1 machine back up the inside as Allerton, a 29.664, fastest rider of the race on lap 3.
Yeah, and what's that gap now back to Allerton? It's 1 second.
Narlos up the inside of Halliday at turn 5, Steve. That was outrageous.
Yeah, massive move by Jonathan Narlos there, and he is not hanging around. Narlos has done a lot of laps around here, and I tell you what, he's got some mid-corner speed, and he looks like he's going to nip up the inside there on the Ducatis, but he can't quite do it. But Narlos is starting to put the hammer down.
Well, remember that Josh Waters said he hasn't ridden at this track since the races here last year. Harry Voigt has been riding here in the off-season. JJ Narlos has done a lot of laps here over the off-season. Well, this is his favourite track. He comes here all of the time, so he knows this place like the back of his hand. And Josh Waters really has got both hands full at the moment with the 2 young riders both behind and in front of him.
Right, well, let's head down to the paddock. Chris is with Cam Dumko to find out what happened there.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Cam, not the ideal first lap. First of all, are you okay? I can see you brushing a lot of grass off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all right. It's just really disappointing. We had a really strong start to the weekend and just tried to work through some things this morning in warm-up, and yeah, we ended up going back to what we had, and I don't know, just got caught out on an unscrubbed front tyre or something like this. But anyway, I thought I knew I could have been in the race, but just trying to square crew up, trying to get a good run, not let the mountain bikes get away, and just bit us, unfortunately.
It happens. I hope you get it all back to going, and good luck for the next one.
Thanks.
Thanks very much, Chris. Plenty more action coming up here from Sydney Motorsport Park. This is, of course, round 2 of the Penrite ASBK, presented by Pirelli. Welcome back to Sydney Motorsport Park. It looks an absolute treat in the afternoon sunlight here, Steve Martin. Yes, because we all want to watch this race. It is building to a fantastic crescendo now as Waters comes round to complete lap 9. So there'll be 4 laps to go at the completion of this race. His lead, well, you don't need a timing monitor to tell you that it is very, very minimal over the McMartin Racing prepared machine back there in second place. Drew Halliday for Stop and Seal Racing. And then it is the factory Yamaha. We just heard from Scott Bishop. That's his machine back there in third position at the hands of JJ Narlos, bike number 20. You can see there that the Ducatis are so fast in a straight line, but Crew Halliday's corner entry into turn 1, equally impressive.
Yeah, Halliday's actually doing a good job. This is the best ride I've seen him do in a long, long time. To be able to stay with Josh Waters when Waters is in this mode, that is putting a lot of pressure on him. Can he do something about it, though? That is the question. He hasn't got a lot of time to try. He hasn't really had a nip up the inside yet.
Well, you know what I'm impressed with, Steve? I have lost count of the amount of laps that these 3 riders have done consecutively now in the 29-second bracket. They are the only 3 riders that have got into the 29s consistently for a majority of this race. When we look at our timing monitor, all the way back to Jack Fabell in 7th position, have all recorded a 29, not multiple 29s lap after lap after lap. That's the reason why these 3 are 3.5 seconds ahead of Harry Voigt in 4th position.
It would definitely be interesting to hear what happened to Harry Voigt, because in the warm-up this morning, he was fastest and every lap was a 29. So he's gone from that to now doing 129 and he's in the 30s. So something's happened.
I did speak to the team. They were having some electronic issues, that the bike was a little bit lost and the GPS wasn't talking into the ECU, and that caused them some problems yesterday. Maybe they haven't been able to 100% rectify that situation, and all you've got to be, as we've seen, is a tenth or so of a second per lap off the pace, and you'll be 4-point-something seconds behind as we come round to complete lap number 10 of this race. Marcus Hammett doing a great job here on board that Motor City Honda to hold out the three-time Australian Superbike champion, Mike Jones. The Queenslander, we know how fast and how smooth he is, but Marcus Hammett doing a good job. Marcus Hammett is a former Race and Road Supersport 300 champion.
Yeah, well, I'd take my hat off to Marcus because, I mean, his lap times in this race, his fastest lap of 1:30.6, that is pretty impressive. I wouldn't be surprised if that's his fastest lap around here.
I think he did a 29 in the Summer Series, but that's 1:29, not with the pressure of Mike Jones hanging around all over your ducktails. So that's got to certainly add a little bit more pressure to the situation. As we go back to the battle at the front, it is still Waters holding a slender lead over Crew Halliday and JJ Nalos as we get down to the very serious end of this race. We're coming down to 2 laps to go. Has Waters got just enough up his sleeve to hold off a rampaging Crew Halliday? And Nalos putting in once again a great performance. He's not only fast like we saw him at the end of last season, Steve, now he's consistent as well.
Yeah, he certainly is. Mike Jones is all over the back of Hammett at the moment, isn't he? Trying to find a way through, trying to find a little bit of confidence, and they're right behind Anthony West. West is also struggling out there from what I expected from him in this race.
Well, also too, we know how fast that Honda is in a straight line. He's going to be able to pick up the slipstream of the Desmo Sport Ducati event. West here, can we see an impressive top speed from Marcus Hammett, who's done 296 k's an hour on the last lap?
Yeah,
not quite enough to reel back in West, but he certainly managed to pull away from Mike Jones behind. As Josh Waters, Crew Halliday and JJ Nalos, once again, Steve, no surprise, all in the 29s.
Yeah, pretty impressive from those guys now. 0.2 of a second lead Waters has got over Halliday. You can just see Halliday is right on the back. This is not over yet. It just depends on how much he's willing to have a crack.
Well, on the last lap, Steve, Halliday was 0.3 of a second faster than Waters.
Yeah, well, Waters the lap before did pull away a bit. I almost felt like saying that Waters was stretching this out, but I thought I'd wait one more lap. Lucky I did.
And the big news is that as they come around to complete this lap, it will be the last lap board. So just over 4 kilometres to go when they get that last lap board for Josh Waters to grit his teeth and hold on to this very slender lead to take his first win of the season in race 4 of the 2026 Penrite ASBK Championship presented by Pirelli. Oh, look at Waters. The back wheel sliding, the front wheel lifting as he comes down the Penrite straight to get that last lap board. What's his lap time as he comes across the line, and our timing monitor updates?
29.8.
No, a 30.0 and 29.9 for both Crew Halliday and JJ Nalos. It is well and truly on Halliday on the brakes. Closes up onto the back end of Waters. Nalos run wide. I think that's Nalos out of the equation now. It is going to come down to the 2 Ducatis to sort this one out.
Now, how brave is Crew? It's been a while since he's had a decent result. Is he going to go all the way? Is he going to put it on the edge? Put it over the edge? Because that's what he's going to have to do to try and beat the man in front at the moment.
Well, if he puts it over the edge, that's probably not going to be a great result for the Stop and Seal team.
Well, he's going to put it up. Look, defensive line there. Up the inside he looks. He can't do it. That was a defensive line. Waters loses the back on the way in. He's looking rough there. Good drive by Crew Halliday.
But how was the front end of Josh Waters' bike there? It was bouncing around all over the place. Through Kawasaki we come. Look at the body language of both of these riders. They are on the absolute limit. This is the last lap. We're running out of corners for Crew Halliday to try and make an assault. He needs to be closer than that if he wants the slipstream. Waters has really put the pressure on now in the second half of this lap. He's riding for everything he's worth, the Mildura missile.
Yeah,
it is wild man Waters at the moment as he comes around through the final corners.
Yeah, what a ride by Waters. He's got this in the bag now. He's had to earn it. We pretty much rode him off. He's sliding out of that final corner. Oh my, what a ride by Josh Waters. We'd written him off. We said the young guys were going to win everything. Well, we got that wrong, didn't we? Well done, Josh Waters. Takes the win.
So Waters comes across the line. He takes the win by 0.6 of a second over Crew Halliday. Jarjay Narlos another 0.5 of a second further back. All of them putting in scintillating lap times on the last lap, but Waters, the only one in the 29s, a 29.997. Harry Voigt takes 4th. Jacob Ralston takes 5th. A great result for them. They take the win by 0.6 of a second over Halliday. JJ Narlos in 3rd. As we said, Voigt came back to 4th. He was a long way back in the middle of that race. Jacob Ralston in 5th. Glenn Allison in 6th. Pavel in 7th. Hammond in 8th. Mike Jones in 9th. And Ant West on that Desmo Sport Ducati, fading in the latter stages to round out your top 10.
And our race winner, the champion from last year, Josh Waters. Well done, pole position. I told you you'd get the start. You're all right.
Actually, Harry got me to turn 1, so huge thanks to my team, the On Your Bike Adventures, KW Civil, Stop and Seal, McMartin Racing Ducati was awesome out there then. Conditions were very slippery, lots of movements. I knew where my rivals were quicker than me, and I knew where I could go a little bit quicker, but race 2 is going to be difficult. Under lights, I don't think it's going to rain like normal, so yeah, let's give it a go. I'll try my hardest.
Well, we can't wait to watch that one. Again, congratulations for race 1. Good luck in the next one.
Thanks heaps.
There you go, our race winner for the SW-motech Superbike.
We've said about how the young riders have been coming through to essentially challenge the more established stars of the championship. Well, at round 1, we finally got announced that the new generation is here, and great to hear from some of those riders now on how this has all happened.
After a blockbuster round 1 at Phillip Island, it's official. The young guns have taken over.
Youngsters out front. We've got Harrison Boyd who leads.
There's a change in the guard in the SW-motech Superbike class.
And that is Ralston dives up the inside. Round the outside goes Dunker. Dunker is not scared.
Voigt, Ralston, Narlos and Dunker have created one of the youngest tense battles of the championship we've seen in history.
He's got around the outside.
I do remember that I think one of the first times I rode a bike was at my cousin's property, and Glenn Allison was there. So it's all pretty cool. It's you know, I was for sure extremely nervous at that first race at Phillip Island. Hadn't been that nervous for a race in a while.
Just a lot more younger guys. All of us want to win. And I'm sure the mindset hasn't changed for the bit older guys too. The depth of the field is obviously quite large, and everyone wants to win.
Look how tight he is. He's going to go around the outside of everyone there. JJ up the inside.
Really awesome team backing me this year, and being teammates with Mike is definitely awesome. Definitely helping. He's very open to any advice and tips for me. He's always helped me when I first stepped up on the Superbike. So being teammates with him, he's always open to helping me out. It's really nice.
I came into the series, you know, wanting to get experience on the big bike and go for top 5, and now I'm in second in the championship after the first rounds. Pretty positive, and now I'm going to be giving it my all to be Australian champion in the Superbike class.
Top 2, top 3 every race. So that's the goal for us, and to come off the back of 3 podiums at Phillip Island, I think we're in a good way, and we just got to try and keep moving forward, keep progressing with the bike, and yeah, so we can muster up here at Sydney.
Here comes Harry Voigt to the finish line. 2 wins from 3 starts.
For me, it's pretty cool because looking back at what we've done in the past, myself, Jacob, Cam, we've all grown up racing each other. So it was pretty cool to have a good weekend, but as well share it with them on their successes as well. Putting in 110% effort, and yeah, I'm going all in on trying to win this championship. So we'll try and keep the momentum going forward.
The big question is, can these young guns keep this pace up and take that Webb Plastics trophy at the end of the year?
Yeah, hands. We've got so many old hands, ex-champions of this class and former riders of this class working in amongst those teams as well. We mentioned Wayne Maxwell. We mentioned Bo Beaton. But all of those riders wishing they were out there doing battle with our poleman Josh Waters, his teammate Harry Voigt in second, and JJ Nalos on that front row of the grid.
Row 2 is Mike Jones, Crew Halliday and Cam Dunker.
Ant West, Jack Favell and Glenn Allerton, quality row 3.
It certainly is a quality row 3. Row 4 is Jacob Ralston, Marcus Hamod and John Littress. Sterling qualifying from him.
Ty Lynch continues to improve on board his Yamaha as well. Josh Newman out of row 5 along with Damien Adams on board the Sol Suzuki in the field.
Brendan Wilson, Charles Holding and Luca Durning is your row 6.
Richard Markham Barrett on the only BMW, just ahead of Luke Jones. John Quinn will be hoping for a better finish than race number 1 where he ran off at turn 2. And Michael Kemp and Matthew Rendell round out the field. And look at that grid all lined up, ready to go. There's your pole man and race 1 winner, Josh Waters. Revs rise. Superbikes are go, and it is Josh Waters. He gets a great start. Drew Halliday's also got away well, and Mike Jones also well and truly in the mix as well as they come round through turn 1 for the first time, the Pirelli corner. Everyone makes it safely through, and as they lead down in towards turn 2, the bike sales corner, it is Harry Voigt leading from Josh Waters. Crew Halliday up into 4th position as well from the 2nd row.
Yeah, another good start there by Harry Voigt. It was Waters who got the jump, but Voigt just holds that throttle on into the bike sales corner.
Ralston up to 6th place as well. You can see him back there. And looks like Cam Dunker has got away. He's just right behind Ralston in 7th position. Yep. There he is, bike number 3. In fact, he's gone dispatched Ralston. He's up the inside of Jones. And Cam Dunker is making his intentions quite clear from the outset of this race.
And now is the time for him to do it too, just as this race is starting to settle down. But it is a better start from Jones. Let's hope that he can recoup some points after race 1 disappointment.
JJ also up the inside of Waters too as they came out of turn 5 and into turn 6. So it is JJ up into 2nd place, Waters back to a 3rd. Then it's Crew Halliday right behind, Cam Dunker, Mike Jones, Ralston and Glenn Allerton in there as well.
Big moment there. Big moment for Harry Voigt. That certainly slowed him down a little bit.
You can see JJ came right up onto the back of Harry's machine as they came through the change of directions there at turns 10 and 11.
Yeah, Voigt was like on the absolute limit there. A bit more rear end movement than he would like, but he got it sorted. There's a selfie for you.
Okay, a 1:34.4 from a standing start for Harry Voigt. On it much?
Yeah, that's pretty quick. And he's certainly not slowing down. He'll only get quicker, that is for sure.
Well, we asked the question at Phillip Island. The desperation level had certainly increased. Would it continue for the rest of the year? I think what we've seen so far is Cameron Dunker. That's where he crashed in race 1, Stephen. You could see him almost sliding the front and really pushing that Blue Marlin Pools entry through turn 3. A dauntingly fast right-handed corner that has bitten a lot of competitors over the years.
Definitely a different line for Nalis through that one, for sure. Through the S's before the road corner.
Allerton up the inside of Jones into turn 6 as well, so Allerton is on a mission.
Yeah, Jones is struggling a little bit. I feel it's something to do with that crash that he had during qualifying. It was a big one, it was a fast one. He said he walked away from it, but I don't know. Around the outside, tries to go Nalis. You can't do that there, but he is young.
Well, the other thing is that Ducati just fires out of the hairpin so well that JJ was going to have to carry a lot of corner speed to try and find a way past Harry Voigt, who has the ability to make that McMartin on your bike KW Civil machine extremely wide.
Definitely on the money are these two guys out front. Harry Voigt comes through, first flying lap. Let's see what that lap time is. 1:34 from a standing start. 1:29.0. First flying lap.
That is 0.066 of a second off the fastest ASBK lap ever done here at Sydney Motorsport Park. The man that holds the outright lap record of a 28.9. JJ Nalos still sitting right there in his slipstream. In fact, everyone inside the top 7 in the 29s. The first rider in the 30s was Mike Jones in 8th position, Ant West in 9th, Jack Favell rounds out the top 10 with Marcus Hammond in 11th, Johnny Littress in 12th, Newman in 13th, Ty Lynch in 14th, and Luca Durning rounds out your top 15.
The thing I like like about Voigt is how intense he is. He just does not give up. And in saying that, Narlis is hanging right in there with him, isn't he? He looks aggressive out front. Both of those guys are massive future stars.
Yeah, I think Harry Voigt is a very intense character, but Narlis is a little bit like Troy Herfoss, a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Oh, 100%.
Calm and easy to talk to off the bike. Pull a helmet on, well, things change dramatically.
Yeah, he's quick into there too. He almost looks like he could run into the back of Voigt in front of him, but I think the Ducati is quicker in some areas than the Yamaha for sure.
Plenty more action coming up here from Sydney Motorsport Park. Round 2 of the Penrite ASBK, presented by Pirelli. Well, welcome back to Sydney Motorsport Park. It is round 2 of the Penrite ASBK, presented by Pirelli, as they come through the top end of the circuit. Look at the body language there from the 2 young hard chargers, Ralston from Jamboree or Wollongong area south of Sydney, and Cam Dunker from Kurri Kurri north of Sydney in the Hunter Valley, a region that has produced so many very good races across all disciplines over the years. And Allerton, well, the veteran from southwest Sydney, closes in on them as well on board that Superbike Advocates machine. Allerton, as he said, has done a lot of laps here in the off-season, training with his good mate Josh Brooks.
Oh, we've got a crasher. I think Jonathan Narlis has gone down.
Yep, turn 11.
There he is.
There he is. So Narlis is out of the equation. That means that Harry Voigt has now got a 1.7 second lead over Josh Waters.
Turn 11.
So that is costly for JJ Narlis, not only in front of his home fans, but also in outright championship points. But you can tell he was pushing on very hard because, well, the passion that Harry Voigt is riding with at the moment at the front.
Look, this reminds me of Harry Voigt at race 3 at Phillip Island. He was just like untouchable, and it seems that he's untouchable now. He's just gone through lap 4 at another 29.0.
He's cracking off 129.0s for fun at the moment. His teammate Josh Waters, 29.4, 29.6 for Halliday. Back there in third place, 29.9 for Ralston, and a 30.4 for Cam Dunker.
Wow, that's pretty impressive stuff from our leader at the moment. It's definitely going to help him in the championship as well.
Well, here we go. Westy right up onto the back of Jones as well.
Yeah,
so it's the Desmo Sport Ducati versus the YRT Yamaha. Interesting to see who comes out of that top speed battle as they make their way down into Pirelli corner turn 1. Allerton's got the better of Dunker as well. I don't think you can doubt Glenn Allerton's fitness. He trains harder, or as hard as anybody, even though he is into his 40s.
Well, I feel that, again, he could have done with a better start. He's fluffed his start a little bit. He's had to work his way through the pack. He's got some serious pace working up into that 5th position now. 130.1 in traffic, a top speed of 301 kilometres an hour for him down that straight. Pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah, Westy ahead of Mike Jones up into 7th place now, a 130.1 for him on the last lap, a 130.3 for Jones on lap 5. I think, if anything, these two are starting to reel Jacob Ralston back in. Ralston had just broken away a bit from Cam Dunker. You can see the brakes glowing there down in towards turn 6 as they're very hard on the brakes into that corner.
Look at the Ducati moving around there. It's rear sliding everywhere. He's really having to fight it, so he needs to be fit. Wheelie out of turn 9. Allerton is riding that like a bucking bull.
Well, and Allerton's been doing a lot of motocross riding on the new Ducati motocross bike as well, so that's probably helping him a little bit now. Riding a little bit like a motocross bike. Maybe Danny Ham should be hanging around to watch this one as well. We saw him on the grid earlier tonight out there for the Supersport race. Over the line, it is Voigt that leads. That lead is now constant at 1.5 seconds. Both he and his teammate Josh Waters doing 129.5s on that last lap. Top speeds up around the 290, 294 mark for those McMartin Racing prepared Ducatis.
Obviously, that speed is where you back off. If they back off a bit earlier, they're going to be in the 290s compared to some of the other guys. If they hold it on a bit more, they're 300, because that speed marker is right near the end of the straight.
So through turn 4 we come, turn 5, and up the hill now for the run up towards turn 6. Halliday doing a good job to hold on in third position. I just feel he doesn't have the pace to match the riders in front. On that last lap, he was 0.6 of a second slower than Josh Waters and Harry Voigt.
Yeah, we haven't talked about Halliday much, have we? He's pretty much just popped himself into that podium position again. A good job by him, but to catch the guys in front this time, possibly going to be a little bit hard for him.
Well, we're coming up to half race distance, and the question that I pose to you, Steve, is that distance between Crew Halliday and Jacob Ralston of 2.1 seconds, is that enough for those guys to try and make up? The three of them, they could trip each other up. That could cost them a little bit of time, or if they're smart, can they work together and put themselves back into the challenge for the last place on the podium?
Well, the issue is that Ralston's got trouble from behind at the moment. Glenn Allerton's right on the back of him now. I think Ralston's got his own troubles. He's not worried about who's in front. He's worried about Allerton. He's trying to find his way past now. And Allerton's looking up the inside into Bike Sales corner, but you can't outbrake the young gun.
Well, you can when he runs wide. Allerton says, thank you very much. I do not need a second invitation, and I'll take advantage of that small mistake, and I'll put the Superbike Advocates machine up into fourth place. And now watch me try and catch up to Crew Halliday.
Well, what he's got to be careful of is we know how, I want to say good, I want to say crazy Ralston is on the brakes. He'll try anything, you know what I mean? So,
but that's a good crazy.
It's a good, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's going to be exciting to watch, and it could happen as we head into the next corner.
Well, the other thing is, look who's charging forward as well. Ant West has, well, once he's disposed of Mike Jones, he's picked up the pace. Ant West's last lap, as we have a look now at the Blue Crew replay, there you can see how late Ralston was on the brakes, and unfortunately, as is clearly evident there, he just went in a fraction too deep, and Allerton was in the perfect position to take full advantage of that very small mistake. Well, he's gone from riding a Moto 3 bike with, 60 horsepower to riding a 220 horsepower Superbike, but he's taken to it like a duck to water. But now he's got Glenn Allerton once again camped all over his rear ducktail. No second mistake there from Ralston, running too wide to allow Allerton through. He ran just wide enough to square off the corner and get the drive out of Bike Sales through turn 3. And Cameron Dunker still right in this battle as well. And Ant West, well, I think he's arrived as well. He's virtually signalled to the rest of them that he is in the battle for this position as well. Of course, they're all battling for fourth position, because ahead of them, Harry Voigt leads Josh Waters by 2.4 seconds, and Crew Halliday in third, a further 2.6 seconds up the road.
Yeah, Crew Halliday having a pretty good weekend, isn't he? Sitting there in that final podium spot. That'll be a second and a third for him if he can pull that off. But the action is definitely fourth, fifth, sixth, and now back to seventh with Ant West on the back of this group. 3 laps to go. It's going to be a big ask, but for Ant West, that's just one overtake a lap.
Well, Jacob Ralston is so fast down into Kawasaki corner, and then the drive he gets out up that Blue Crew straight. We know how fast Glenn Allerton's Superbike Advocates machine is, but Ralston is literally just, well, physically riding the wheels off that Motor City Honda at the moment.
Look, the Honda's really quick. Ralston's young and smaller than Glenn Allerton. Allerton's physically quite a big guy, so you know his size he catches the wind more, and that's going to slow him down a little bit. So he's going to work that little bit extra, a little bit harder to try and do something. He fancies a go into here, but Ralston's just so big on the brakes. And Ant West up the inside. There's that one that he needs to do every lap. He's only going to do that 2 more times.
Well, he said that he wasn't happy with his performance in race 1, Ant West. He's certainly making amends now on that Desmo Sport Ducati bike number 13 as he moves himself up into 6th position ahead of Cameron Dunker on that Blue Marlin East Pools Racing. Oh, I thought Dunker was going to go up the inside on the entry into turn 5 there as well.
It's a funny thing when you have a crash, you know, like Dunker did. It just takes a while sometimes to find that extra confidence back. And you can just see there, he was starting to turn the bike on the inside like he was at Phillip Island, like he thought he could up until he had that moment. So sometimes you just need to get a few laps under your belt before you can start thinking about attacking. And it looks to me like he's thinking about attacking, and that certainly was on the inside.
Well, I thought he was actually going down the inside of Westy on the run into Kawasaki corner. He set that up on the way into Racing Road, but unfortunately he just ran in a fraction too shallow and was over the curb on the inside. That cost him, well, a fair bit of time. time and also track position, because he's dropped off the back. Hopefully still close enough to get the slipstream as they go down the Penrite straight here, as you see a tear-off blowing around in the wind as these Superbikes nail the front straight.
Big move, Allen's through.
Allenton has just done 301 kilometres an hour. Jacob Ralston 303 kilometres an hour down the front straight. They are absolutely on fire, these Superbikes.
Yep, and Allen blocks that off. He runs wide. Ralston goes through. It's side by side as they flick to the left, and Ralston makes the move back through. The boy, the guy, he's hungry.
Well, Ed West is well and truly in this as well. So we've got two young hard chargers in the form of Jacob Ralston and Cameron Dunker, and the two 40-plus veterans that have seen and done just about everything.
There he goes.
Oh, Allington, that is a classic move straight up the inside.
He's having to use every trick in the book.
Essentially repaying exactly what Ralston did.
Here goes Ralston. Yeah, Ralston. Anything you can do, I can do too. Well, and Westy says thank you. There's two.
Oh, Race and Road Corner has provided so much action for us this weekend, and it certainly is not disappointing in this SW-motech Superbike race. 3 overtakes in the space of a couple of corners. And Dunker, well and truly back into the equation now. And is that closing in from behind? Mike Jones on board bike number 46. Don't let the 3-time champion get a sniff, or he'll be right in there as well.
Yeah, this is crazy between these guys. Absolutely crazy. Really likes to lean that bike over.
Oh, look at the body language and bike attitude of Ant West. You can see the bike starting to move around everywhere. We're starting to get into the serious part of this race, because the final lap has started. Just over 4 kilometres to go, Steve. The lead for Harry Voigt is 3.2 seconds over Josh Waters. Crew Halliday in a very comfortable third.
Whoa,
but our intention is this battle.
Dunker was pretty crazy there. Managed to hold it together. Jones even closer. Meanwhile, out front, Harry Voigt, what a lead he's got. 3.5, still in the 29s, 29.8, 29.0 on his first flying lap. Josh Waters in second and Halliday third.
Well, Westy is looking very serious here. You can see one of the great things about racing at night is the clear visors. You can clearly see, where you can see the 1,000-yard stare. Allington tries to go up the inside of both of them. He can only get West, but West gets the drive out of Race and Road. And as they come up towards Kawasaki, it is Westy that moves straight back into 5th position after it was stolen from him on the entry into turn 6 by Allington.
It's a big move. It's a big move by Allen. He's run wide. That allows Dunker to go through on both of them. Dunker's through on both. He cuts Westy off on the outside. It's fair to do. Dunker takes a breath. He's going to try and hold it to the line now, but that's a great move.
Well, here comes Harry Voigt. He's going to thread the needle through these back markers and essentially deny them the opportunity to do another lap, as he takes the checkered flag and he takes the race win ahead of his teammate Josh Waters in second place. Cam Dunker has set sail for the finish. He's going to lead these bikes over the grid, is he? No, it is Westy that comes back and steals it off him at the last moment. Wow, what a ride. Crew Halliday in 3rd place. Jacob Ralston takes 4th. Ant West pinches 5th place off Cameron Dunker at the line. Right on the look at that, Steve. Only a couple of hundredths of a second between West and Dunker as they came across the line. Allington in 7th, Mike Jones in 8th, Marcus Hammond, another top 10 finish for the second of the Moto City entries in 9th, and Jack Pavel for the Addicted to Track team takes out 10th position. What a race. Well, the ASBK, 5 races down, 5 classic races so far this season.
Yeah, incredible stuff. Josh Newman there in 11th, Johnny Lidris in 12th, Ty Lynch in 13th place. It was just an incredible race.
Our top 3 are with Chris Vermeulen.
Yeah, thanks, guys. And what a race it was for the SW-motech Superbike. Race 5 for the season. Crew Halliday on the podium again. I know you want that win, but you must be wrapped with the weekend.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped. I'm pretty sure I might have got second overall then. I'm not too pumped with that race. They were just a lot quicker than me. I think, I got a really good start again, but my first lap, it's just not intense enough. So I need to work on intensity and work on that. But yeah, it's just, once I lost that, 10, 20 metres, it felt like I was pushing probably a bit too hard. Overriding it might have heated the rear tyre up a little bit quicker than what I liked. And yeah, it was sort of just a bit of a struggle. I found like I kept making mistakes, and I'd say to myself, just go into that next corner and just fix it up. I'd get back to that same corner next lap, make the exact same mistake. And I said to myself probably 13 times, just about, it never sunk in, but it's racing. And but yeah, my bike, I think my bike was handling a little bit different then. It's a bit weird. The track's a bit cooler. Usually they handle quite better, like tyres biting a bit better, but yeah, it felt like my tyres were cold. That's just the feeling I had, but obviously they weren't because they generate a lot of heat, but that's just the feeling I had. I had a little bit of chatter in the front, but that's racing.
Oh, it's great to see you up here. Well done.
Thank you.
There goes our third place man. Second place, almost the perfect weekend, but Josh Waters, congratulations. Another great race.
Yeah, no, that was really good. At the start, the boys took off and I just couldn't. It was a really strange feeling I had. I kept having moments everywhere and I was just like, be smart, be smart. I thought after a couple of laps I could have another go, but then I had a couple of big moments. I was getting away from third. Harry rode fantastic. Huge thanks to my team. A lot better than round one for me, so I look forward to Tail and Ben. A little bit like my home round, that one.
Yeah, we can't wait for that one too. Well done.
Thank you.
There you go, second place, Josh Waters. And the race winner, we know he had an issue with his bike in race one. He wasn't happy, but Harrison Voigt, you made good for that one. That was a fantastic race.
Yeah, I had to make up for what I lost. I was pretty pissed off after the first race, mainly because I'd just seen the championship, the points closed up quite a lot. So I just was like, well, move on. I salvaged fourth, so that was better than crashing. So the older me would have just bloody turned my brain off and gone for it. So no, rode smart, and yeah, race two, we sorted out the bike, and I just thought Josh and I basically had the pace, and I thought, if Josh and I can run away, fantastic. I know Josh quite well, and I think we both understand how we race, so I think it would have been quite respectful racing, but I just tried to put my head down, and as I was getting a few laps in, I noticed there was a blue bike behind me. So I was like, oh, here we go. So yeah, I really just focused on hitting my markers and keeping cool and trying to save the tyre. And yeah, I'm kind of speechless. It was just fantastic.
Almost a perfect race. Again, congratulations, Harrison Voigt.
Thank you.
There you go, our race winner for the SW-motech Superbike race.
Well, 5 races this season, 5 times we have seen absolutely fantastic races from the ASBK riders. And the Web Plastics Trophy for the second race podium. Race 5 of the season go to Harry Voigt, Josh Waters and Crew Halliday. And don't those trophies look absolutely magnificent? The big question is, at the end of the season, 3 more rounds to determine who will take home the biggest Web Plastic Trophy of the year. Championship points, very, very critical coming into the completion of race number 5. Harry Voigt now leads the championship on 110 points from his teammate Josh Waters on 96. 14 points to good for Voigt. Jacob Ralston's moved up into 3rd place on 95. Crew Halliday in 4th on 73. And Ant West rounds out your top 5 on 72. Look how close it is just behind that, though.
Yeah, Cam Dunker and Glenn Allerton both on 71 points. Mike Jones not far behind either on 67. And Nalis on 65. Jack Favell on 60. That's a pretty close top 10.
Of course, the next round of the ASBK Championship with races 6 and 7 will be the 1st and 3rd of May at the Bend Motorsport Park. And once again, that will be another great venue for the continued exciting action of the Penrite ASBK presented by Pirelli. Of course, Morgan Park and Queensland Raceway to come. The next round of ProMX will be on the 19th of April at Canberra. We heard Danny Ham talking about that. Then we move to Gilman in South Australia, Toowoomba in Queensland, back to New South Wales at Appin just down the road from here, Traralgon in Victoria, Conondale in Queensland, and of course the last round at Queensland Moto Park over the weekend of August 1st and 2nd. Big, exciting weekend for the home man there, Jake Farnsworth. He took 2 victories in the Kawasaki Supersport category. We saw a great victory from Josh Waters and Harry Voigt in the SW-motech Superbike classes. And all I can say is the momentum is continuing, Steve Martin, and I can't wait to get to the Bend Motorsport Park. Thank you to you, thank you to Chris and all the production team. We'll see you in South Australia for round 3.